Most people look at a high-end vehicle and assume they are looking at a high-net-worth individual. We are socially conditioned to believe that the car in the driveway serves as a reliable scoreboard for financial success. Because today, you'll discover why many self-made millionaires deliberately choose used cars, even when they can easily afford brand-new luxury vehicles. Imagine two neighbors living side by side. On paper, they are identical. They work the same hours and both earn exactly $100,000 a year. The first neighbor decides he's earned a reward. He goes to the dealership and buys a brand new luxury SUV with an $80,000 sticker price. The second neighbor wants the same experience, but he takes a different path. He finds the exact same model, 3 years used, and pays nearly half the price. Fast forward 10 years. One of these neighbors is quietly crossing the 7-figure mark in his investment account. The other is still navigating a cycle of monthly car payments. The difference between them comes down to a specific mathematical choice. In many cases, the effort spent projecting wealth is the specific thing that prevents someone from actually building it. The neighbor with the new SUV immediately faces a higher monthly loan, increased insurance premiums, and more expensive registration fees. But here's what nobody tells you. The real damage isn't just the money leaving his bank account. It's what happens to the car itself. This graph tracks the resale value of that $80,000 SUV. Notice this sharp plunge in value over the first 36 months. This is depreciation, the steady decline of an asset's value over time. In those first 3 years, the owner absorbs a massive hit. The car loses roughly 20% of its value the moment it leaves the lot. And by year 3, nearly 40% of that original $80,000 has simply evaporated. Now look at the ownership period for the second neighbor. By buying at the 3-year mark, he let the first owner take that initial 40% hit. His ownership curve is much flatter, meaning he retains more of his purchase price when he eventually sells. Now here's where almost everyone makes the biggest mistake. They focus on the car, but they ignore the cash. Neighbor B is saving roughly $700 every single month on lower payments and lower insurance. A new car purchase guarantees an immediate loss of personal net worth before you've even driven it home for the first time. This brings us to opportunity cost. By choosing the used car, the second neighbor keeps that $700 in his pocket every month. He doesn't spend that $700 on lifestyle creep. Instead, he routes it directly into a diversified investment account. This highlights the difference between an asset and a liability. A car is a liability. It costs money to maintain and it loses value. A stock or a bond is an asset. It is designed to grow and produce income. This chart compares the two paths over 10 years. While the car's value on the left sinks toward zero, the investment portfolio on the right grows. This is compound interest, the process where your earnings begin to generate their own earnings. Between years 5 and 10, the portfolio experiences an exponential leap. Because the second neighbor consistently invested that $700 a month, market growth began to do the heavy lifting. Meanwhile, the first neighbor is now driving a 10-year-old vehicle that is out of warranty. He is facing rising maintenance costs on a vehicle that is worth less than 15% of what he originally paid. That brand new car cost more than just the $80,000 on the window. It cost the $120,000 that same money would have become if it had been invested in the market for that decade. 10 years later, we can see the divergence clearly. The first neighbor has a vehicle worth perhaps $10,000 and has built no additional wealth from his transportation budget. The second neighbor's portfolio has grown to over $120,000, assuming a standard 7% return. This chart shows the massive gap created by a single decision made a decade ago. Most people in the first neighbor's position will now trade that old car in and take out another $80,000 loan, repeating the cycle and ensuring they never build a meaningful surplus. Buying new only becomes a logical choice for those with a high enough net worth that the depreciation hit has no impact on their long-term financial goals. For everyone else, it is a significant drain on potential wealth. One neighbor prioritized the appearance of wealth for 10 years. The other prioritized actual financial independence. Self-made millionaires generally view a car as a utility tool, a way to get from point A to point B. They prioritize the efficiency of the tool over the status it projects. there is a massive amount of social pressure to drive something that looks successful. Truly wealthy individuals ignore this pressure because they understand that their value is found in their balance sheet, not their paint job. You can break the cycle by choosing to prioritize your future net worth over the temporary opinions of your neighbors. If you're ready to stop trading your future for a hood ornament, subscribe to Richify Finance, because here we don't chase luxury, we build wealth. Remember, learn, invest, grow.